it's Derek here once again from Pacific Coast Auto. We're looking at a year 2000 Nissan Silvia. This one here looking like it's ready to go off-roading. Quick look there, the fitment. This one was raised up by a shop that we don't normally use. They went ahead and raised it a little bit too much. Of course, we were raising it just so that the aftermarket front bumper wouldn't get scraped. And it had to get done actually right near the auction, away from our regular shops. So we contacted the shop and they were like, yeah, we can lift it up for you. And they went a little bit crazy there. And so typically we'll raise up the cars after we shoot this video. And so for the time being, this S15 is going to look a little bit crazy. It will look pretty awesome once you lower it back down to the height that looks reasonable. Give you a little rev here. You can hear that aftermarket blow off valve fluttering the turbo. Okay, 160,000 kilometers on this one. Oil and coolant looking like they are okay, not contaminated or anything. Number of aftermarket parts, which we'll get into in a second, but year 2000, didn't want to distract you with that 4x4 fitment on the wheels, but year 2000 Nissan Silvia S15. Headlights coming from the L package. Interesting. So the L package, usually these are black inside. The L package, which was the leather version, which this one is not, had the special champagne gold colored headlights. Kind of fun little tidbit there. And yeah, this one bought from auction for export over to the USA. S15s, ultra popular, will continue to be more popular because this is the end of the iconic 90s JDM cars. S15s feel so much better than all of the new cars. Nissan they don't make bad cars anymore, but these were the best. These were the most fun. So before we go over the auction inspection sheet, I've got the hood open here. I'm just going to mention what I see in terms of aftermarket parts. So intercooler piping, what looks like a Blitz radiator, oversized, vastly oversized. Okay, aftermarket air filter here. Pillow upper mounts with adjustable top hats so that you can set your camber if you want. This one here is a damper so that you dampen the shaking of the engine. The reason why you want to do that actually has to do with gear shifting more than anything else. When you step on the engine, it's rotating, right? When it rotates, it moves the engine side to side. When the engine moves side to side a lot, so is your transmission because it's mounted right to the engine. Now, you probably get maybe a little bit of a smoother feeling because of that, but I think it's more so that like while you're going through a corner with high G-force, your engine's pushing to one side and you're revving it at the same time, so you can get into those gears properly. You can do the same thing with strengthened bushings for your transmission and your engine. Unfortunately, the strengthened bushings take a lot of the vibration from the engine and put it into the chassis, meaning you're going to feel a lot more. I feel like this is more cosmetic than anything else, but it is still cool to have. Now we got an aftermarket blow-off valve. Then this little guy here gives you your water temperature to an aftermarket gauge. What else do we have? Anything else? This one has been in an accident and it looks like repairs here were a little not that great. You can see inner panels damaged there. You can see it's a little bit damaged here as well. Like hammers were used from the inside to knock it back into shape. We knew it was an accident damaged vehicle, so R grade. R grades can be fine, can be medium, can be a little bit lousy. I'd say that those inner panels are a little bit on the lousy side, and we'll get into more of that detail in a second. Aftermarket exhaust manifold, actually a pretty cool looking one, although it is a little bit old and it has lost its shine. And then looks like the turbo in here is the original one. Down in there. Okay, and the downpipe is I don't know, downpipe is maybe the original one as well. It has a little bit of a dented section on it. Not sure what's going on here. We got a pipe. Kind of looks like the pipe that comes off of the downpipe, like a straight pipe that replaces the catalytic converter. And then we came with a catalytic converter and a few control arms and mirrors. Those are the Ganador mirrors, I believe. Okay. Oh, rear wiper delete. Because I'm so sporty. Got to cut that weight down and make sure that the body is aero, streamlined for aero. Okay, so the SR20 puts out 250 horsepower in this version. It's the final version of the SR, well, it is not the final version of the SR20, but the final one that ever got into a Silvia. So they call this one the black top. Okay, and then the ABS module, I think they had to adjust where it's mounted for this exhaust manifold to fit, because you can see all of the brake hoses have been bent into a new position. Brake lines, pardon me, not brake hoses. Okay, and then do we have a front mount intercooler? Piping goes down there and comes up there. Trying to see in here where those pipes go. Oh, okay. There it is. For whatever reason, I thought that was the radiator first. And it's dented quite a bit at the bottom there. You see that? Okay, so let's lower the hood. We'll take a look at the auction inspection sheet. Obviously, the auction inspection sheet will give you the best information on the vehicle condition because it is unbiased. Not as good as seeing the car yourself, but it's not the seller who's writing all this information, so you can trust it a little bit as a result of that. So year 2000 Silvia Spec-R, auction grade R with interior and exterior C. This could go either way. The auction grade R might otherwise be, you know, condition 2, could be condition 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5. Can't be 5, I don't think. I think once it's been in an accident, you can't get 5. But what I'm saying is that you can have vastly different condition of cars if it's been in an accident. So you have to pay very close attention to what sort of marks are on here. Okay, 159,039 kilometers with 6-speed manual, the only Silvia to get the 6-speed. Automatic AC, power steering, power windows. It has ABS, but the seller didn't circle that. And no airbag in this one. It's an aftermarket steering wheel. So sales points here, and might be a little too complicated for me to read because my Japanese isn't super good, but let's try this. So it's a trade-in vehicle from the auction. A front mount intercooler is aftermarket exhaust header, aftermarket alloy radiator, aftermarket exhaust, aftermarket suction pipe, aftermarket air filter, aftermarket wheels, and aftermarket adjustable suspension, hence why we could turn it into an off-road vehicle. Let's have a quick peek at that suspension. Craft Z. Haven't heard of them. It also looks like a little on the old side. And by the way, when the vehicle's lifted up like this, the suspension, the shock can't do its job because it's extended the rod all of the way. So you need to have a roughly equal amount of fluid above and below the seal that goes between the two sections on the suspension. When you lift it up like this, your shock becomes really hard and the suspension will be hard. So when you receive this vehicle, know that the suspension is probably a little bit more compliant than it feels until you lower it back down. And it's fairly easy to lower them back down. You just need a coil of a wrench. Okay, DEFI oil temp, oil pressure, water temp, and boost. There was also a boost controller in the engine room. Aftermarket driver's seat, aftermarket tail lights, aftermarket steering wheel. Front facing drive recorder. That's weird. Usually those are on the mirror. I don't see it here. Some suspension parts and catalyzer inside the car. We already saw that. And that's all we got to know about it. There are a few extra aftermarket parts, obviously. That's all the seller wanted to write on there. Some of these sellers don't know all the aftermarket parts that might be in the car, and they might not, you know, check the car too carefully before they yeet it over to auction. So the report here, windshield crack. Now, usually I'll say windshield rock chip, and this is a good example of what a rock chip looks like. See right there? And those ones, I usually say, I don't care too much about the condition of them, but if it says crack, it's a little bit of a different story. I'm gonna have a quick look to see if I can find that crack, because I want to show everyone what a windshield crack typically looks like. Oh, I found it. Okay, this one here is very, very typical of what a windshield crack would look like. It has actually cracked the glass, it's gone all the way through, and so they don't consider it a rock chip anymore. Okay. Windshield crack, interior scratched, dirty, cigarette burn. There's actually one on the driver and passenger seat. Interior wear, and the seat is ripped. Aftermarket seats constantly rip on the side. Be careful if you've put a full bucket seat into your car, because sitting on it and dragging your butt across it will eventually rip it. Oh, just noticed this fair lady that we just picked up, just came in recently. The plate on it is from pre-1999, meaning the same owner has had that for 25 years. That's awesome. And it's a turbo too. You know how I can tell? See the fins at the bottom, like right here? The turbos have extra fins. A little tidbit of information. And it's a late model because it has the projector headlights. We're not looking at that car though. Today's Nissan day, apparently. Okay, so electric folding mirrors don't work. Carpet also has a cigarette burn. Aftermarket shift knob. Underside scratched, dented, and surface rust. Actually, the rust on the car is looking good. The strut top's looking good. The trunk looking good. Trunk liners are missing, but the trunk doesn't have any rust in it. The underside's looking pretty good. Silvia's rust. It sucks. It's good to have one that's not rusty. Okay, fender edges have been modified, basically bent in to fit bigger or more aggressive wheels. Fender liners have been removed. Again, same reason. Wheels scratch, various scratches and dents. Accident damages, quite a bit of them. Core support has been replaced. Right front inner panels have been cut and modified, usually to put the piping for the intercooler for that one. Front side member deformed / dented. I don't know how you want to call that. They both kind of mean the same thing. End panel has been replaced. Rear floor is dented. And the left rear tire house inner section deformed / dented. Body here shows the hood has been replaced. Yes, it has, with a very cool looking aftermarket hood. This is maybe my favorite design for the Silvias. Very, very 90s, very classic design, but I don't know, got a soft spot for it. Roof U2, kind of odd. I'll have a quick look at that right away. There it is. So there's some dents here on the roof. Roof has also been repainted, you can tell. Okay, oh, and another one here. So yeah, a lot of people's eyes don't naturally go to the roof when you look at a car, and so it's not too bad. And then paint cracks over here, and it looks like they missed it. But there's also paint cracks right here. So in the front end accident, they continued to use the same fenders because these aren't aftermarket. You shouldn't be able to get cracks in metal. So that means there's body filler in there that has been used. And it looks like it used to have like the kind of hole there. And that is often to put like one of those little tie things, if there's one on the other side, which there is. Yeah. What they'll do is they'll put a little tie here and a little tie here, and they'll connect it together because these bolts inside here tend to go bad if you bottom out the front, and on a very lowered car, you typically will. Okay. That's all of the marks on it. Just point out this has been repainted, but it was a while ago, so the paint has gone bad again. And they've cut off the visors for the doors, which damages the gome a little bit. What's the gome in English? That's the Japanese word for it. I don't know. The rubber part. Okay, once around, we're going to be particularly looking at the body, and I'd say that the body is pretty good. I do like the aero kit on this one. Side skirts, front bumper, rear bumper. And without the rear spoiler, every Silvia looks good with spoilers or without spoilers. They're just such a classic design. I have long loved them. I think the first S15 we exported was probably 10 years ago or so. And boy, oh boy, do I love them. And I love driving them too. Okay, we're gonna brave the jungle again.
Want to see us having fun in Japan? Go check out our new channel. Link in the description.
Boom. I am not going to search for spiders on me. Oh my God, she's been eating a lot. Yeah, last time I came here, she was smaller, so we were very careful to crouch through this section. I do not want to have a dive bomb spider onto my face. It's kind of not part of the job that I appreciate. Okay, come back around here, and we'll do the next pass, taking a look at some of the damages. So front bumper, any lowered car like this was when we bought it, it's going to have some areas of damage. Japan's a country with a lot of mountains and roads that are fairly steep. You just inevitably get that, which is kind of ironic how lowered car style has been very popular in Japan. Don't know what they're thinking. So hood has some little flex cracks. It's made out of a very thin fiberglass. So if you push down to like lock the latch, you're going to end up cracking the paint. Got to be very careful with that. Some of the higher quality hoods are going to be more structural to make sure that that doesn't happen. And before it was repainted, it wasn't prepped properly. So there are some areas of the paint that are not looking that good. Okay. Mirrors are black. So normally they're body color, and the paint on them isn't that good. A few little chips in it as well. Okay, so like I said, the cracks here, the door All right, looking like it's been repainted, but it's not too bad. The screw in for the side skirt there. Back fender looking all right. In my opinion, these taillights or any aftermarket taillights are an upgrade on the S15. I'm usually the guy that wants stock things like taillights, but on this car, I feel like the stock ones just aren't cool. Big daddy exhaust. Almost looking like it's... What's that? A weld line? Did someone repair that? Kind of weird looking. I don't think it was repaired. It does look OEM. Back bumper, a little bit of paint wave on it. And yes, this bumper here, all of this is all aftermarket. It's made to be the same shape as the original bumper, but it's full aftermarket. This is different from, say, like a JZX 100, Chaser, Mark II, Cresta, where they'll usually just get this bottom lip put on the back bumper because it's a lot easier to do that. A little bit of damage and a little bit of misaligned sections in here. Okay, no marks from the spoiler having been removed. There is a little bit of a dent here. Kobayashi Motors since 1973 might be the shop that's done the repairs on this. Okay, coming down here, a couple of very small nicks on the edge of the door. Door itself is looking dent-free. There's some bad paint prep right there before the repaint. And there's some peeling between the old and the new paint along here. So it looks like it was maybe a masking problem, which is weird. You would not be 3 millimeters off when masking. You just wouldn't do that. Okay, this door has hit the fender before. When you open it, you can actually see that the fender here, it's not a great match to the door because of an accident. This one also has had body filler in it, has the body filler look to it. And boy, oh boy, is that ever pulled. It's not only folded in, the whole metal has been pulled out to fit the most aggressive wheels that you can get. If you take a look, imagine it's lowered. Those wheels are, stop focusing on the fair lady. Those wheels are very aggressive. Okay, wheels here. What brand are they? NK. Nice, but not great condition. Tires are an Ultrasport NS2, which is a Nankang tire. Generally pretty good performance. They tend to be a little bit loud. DOT markings on them, if you care. Plenty of tread on them, and they feel relatively new. What year is that? They should have the year on here. Maybe it's easier to see on the other side. 2024. Oh, and aftermarket slotted discs. And it's been a while since I've cared about this. I believe these are Type M brakes. They might be an upgrade. You're going to have to compare them. And yeah, not looking rusty in here, which is good to see. Especially that area that we know has been beat with a hammer. There's a little bit of filler that's been put on this section here as well. Okay, interior. Let's go to the trunk first. You can see all the liners have been removed because race car. Weird that they didn't mention this in the auction sheet. Typically you would have that mentioned. Yeah, seeing a little bit of surface stuff here, but no corrosion. And any accident damage is pretty minimal from what I can see in here. You can see a little bit in this section. How is this one? Yeah, same thing. A little bit in this section. Honestly, not too bad. Back wall is looking generally okay. Seams are looking okay. So the big accidents were in the front. Small accidents was on the back. Into the car now. In we go. It's weird to open a door for a Silvia that's this high. Oh, you know what I just noticed? This is the L package. These door cards have the leather insert on them for the L package, but I did take a look at the seat, which is not the leather seat that usually comes in the L package. So you don't have the full L package, but it looks like this was the original L package. Okay, it's a full bucket seat here for the driver, meaning I can't flip it forward to show you the back seat from this side. It looks like it is well sun faded. This used to be a black seat. It is now this brown color. Probably one of the first things you're going to want to get taken out. Contrary to what Max believes, I think a full race seat is one of the worst ideas that you can have in a street car. They're just so annoying to get in and out of. We also have cigarette burn right here. And cigarette burn right here. And apparently there's one on the carpet. There's a few on the carpet right there. And the floor mat has ripped where it anchors. So the insert for the anchor has pulled out. And the carpet itself gets ripped. Okay.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
No.
The 2017 comedy film starring Faison Love.
Okay, thank
Russell
you.
Peters.
No. Shh. Okay, Gretty boost controller here. Looks like an older one. Gauge up here and triple gauges right there. We have fins here that are broken. They're supposed to all move at the same time. So those ones are broken. Fall into the seat. This one's broken. This one's okay. This one's okay. That one's okay. Okay, tachometer in the middle. That's what you want. CD player's been removed. AC, I think it works. I'm supposed to be given a note from the person who does the full report on the car, whether it works or not. I actually didn't check for that. My apologies. This is a controller for your gauges, for these ones. You daisy chain them all together and plug them into this, and then this goes to your ECU. This area, a few scratches, and your ashtray doesn't feel like it fits in there perfectly anymore. A little bit of damage on this chrome piece, and I believe the chrome piece might only be chrome in the L package. I'm not entirely sure anymore. A little bit of damage to the finish on the dashboard there. Okay, steering wheel too small and feeling really cheap. It's like kind of broken. It squishes, but doesn't come back to the shape that it's supposed to right away. And I don't think that they make steering wheels in memory foam. And no horn. And no airbag, of course. Headliner's looking okay, but it is a black headliner. So maybe a little bit harder to tell if there is any damage. And then let's have a quick look. Ooh, there used to be something stuck on there. Back seat's looking okay. Yeah, you get actually pretty deep little cavern there to put things. But again, it's a two-seater from Japan in the 90s, so not much leg room in the back. Mind you, we did shoot a Mustang, like, geez, what is it called? The one's from like 2007. And no room in the back of that. And it's a giant car compared to the Japanese cars. It surprised me so much. Okay, so 6-speed manual, 250 horsepower rear-wheel drive car is going to give you so much more fun than most modern cars. This has some good stuff in it, has some bad stuff in it, but unless you're paying super top dollar, it's hard to get an S15 without having a little bit of compromise. There is still a lot of good here. That's going to be the end of the video. Please check out our website if you're interested in importing cars from Japan. My name is Derek Weldon from Pacific Coast Auto. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.